So months ago I heard that The Division 3 is in development. Where I'm asking, why the hell is this in development? The Division 2 already was a mistake, because that should have been a expansion to the Division 1. But now there's a Division 3 in development, and first we watched the announcement of the Division 3, and then we watch an interview with the producer. Boom.
Could the strategic Homeland Division be mobilizing once more? Recent developments suggest that agents may soon be called back into action. Ubisoft has officially confirmed.
So this is not a trailer or anything like that. Great. Still watching it.
That Massive Entertainment is leading the development of Tom Clancy's The Division 3.
From where do I know these? Massive Entertainment. What games did they develop? Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Yeah, that's okay. To be fair, the game is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. All games. I hate cookies. This was bad. This no one gave a fuck about. This was fine. This game was good, but the main characters, the good guys, are trash. They did that game good. It was good. Assassin's Creed Revelations, I don't know. Okay. Ground Control. Oh, these are really old games. Oh my god. I think I played this back in the day. I'm not sure. Okay. But we also have to see that the developers that made these games are most likely not in the company anymore. That's why there's such a massive divide between, look how these thumbnails look, and then we have this. So basically the last two games they made were trash. No one cares about. Great.
Announcement was subtly made on Massive's official website, where they revealed that Julian Geraghty, the executive producer for the Division brand, is spearheading the project. Welcome to nerdsection.com.
Well, okay, that I think might be a good thing. I mean, the Division 1 concept-wise was really good. The execution was mostly good, but it lacked an endgame content.
Currently, the team is actively recruiting talent to bring this ambitious project to life. Positions such as animation director, narrative director, and senior AI designer are among the roles being advertised, indicating the early stages of development.
And history will remember us.
While specific details about the...
So they are in really, really early development. Like, there's nothing there yet. At least that's what I get out of this.
The game's setting, storyline, or features remain under wraps. The involvement of key figures like Geraghty, who has a history with the franchise, suggests a commitment to delivering a compelling continuation of the series.
What do you mean with a series? There are 2 games so far, and they're working on a 3rd one. And the second game shouldn't even have been its own game.
As fans eagerly await more information, it's clear that the world of The Division is set to expand once again. Stay tuned for future updates as we monitor the progress of this highly anticipated title. In the meantime, watch our top shooter game releases of 2025.
Is this really highly anticipated? Well, you know what? SteamDB Let's check. We open a second because we will need it. The vision and the division 2. Let's see. Player counts, shots. 24-hour peak, 1,163 for the division. Now, to be fair, the game is how old? 10 years, about 10 years. It's dead. The division 2. By the way, we have to, all-time peak here, division 1, 114,000 on Steam. The division 2 on Steam, all-time peak, less than 15,000. Still has more players than the Division 1. And now imagine these numbers would have been combined. They could have still almost 6,000 people. But due to the Division 2 being its own game, they don't. Which also means they split revenue, which is bad. Yeah, the Division 1 is dead, the Division 2 is neither alive nor dead. It's, trying to survive, but it's not good. Also, this means that the Division 1 never sold as much as the Division... No, the Division 2 did never sell as much as the Division 1. Which, to be fair, is not surprising. It's set in Washington and not in the cold. The theme is very, very different. And you are also basically an absolute super soldier here with special abilities. I mean, you have them in the Division 1 too, but in the Division 2 they're very, very, very stronger. Very stronger. So do I look forward to the Division 3? No. And I think almost no one does. The people that really enjoyed the Division 1, that were these people here. Then it really dropped off within less than a year. Then here was most likely a DLC released. And some people came back, but they came back from a 3,400 something peak back to a 38,000. The game got only more dead over time. The Division 2 actually is more consistent. But it's also younger, way younger. Way, way younger. So let's watch the interview with the producer. And, well, maybe we get something out of
Julian
this.
Garrity. I'm the executive producer on Tom Clancy's The Division. I've been at Ubisoft for 26 years. The last 15 or 16, I've been a creative director. So I feel like...
I hope he didn't work on Assassin's Creed Shadows.
fraud as a executive producer, but it's really interesting. So as a creative director, of course, I worked on Division 1, Division 2, and Star Wars Outlaws.
I really didn't want to hear the last one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, no. Star Wars Outlaws? One of the worst flops they ever had? Oh god, no. That's bad.
But now, I have an overview of all things Division. And that's where my heart is, which is video games, but it's outside of video games as well, with comic books and stuff like that. All the adaptations inside.
By the way, comic books produced for less than 4,000 people. Of course, that's not just, oh, yeah, that's only the peak. Not everyone that plays a game plays at the same time, but really? Comic books? For a dead franchise? And I wonder who reads that stuff. Because I know I don't read Western comics. If I read a comic, it's a manga. Because, I prefer the art style in a lot of cases. Because the Western art styles are not really mine anymore. Because the characters all got so ugly. They got disgusting.
An outside video game.
And 26 years, industry veteran, I think is an appropriate term.
26 years. I joined Ubisoft when I was 7 years old. So, I'm kidding. It's been a while. It's more than half of my life. Honestly,
Oof.
best job ever. It's the most thrilling industry. Every 5 years, you have this leap of technology. You have games that change constantly.
What leap in technology? Have you looked at how your games look? There are no leaps. Your games are all the same. What leaps in technology? Are you now switching to using AI for a lot of stuff? Because that would be a change. Might improve the games a lot. Personally, I would be happier seeing The Division 3 being developed in Asia than, by, I don't know, is it a French team? I have no clue. Yeah, no.
Keeps you thinking, it keeps you fresh, it keeps you dynamic, and you get to make stuff with your friends. So that's incredibly important to me.
And what led off into your time with Ubisoft? You've been there for a while, but what was your first entry point, if I may ask?
Okay, so first thing I ever did was to build financial analysis Excel tables to help us predict and build a business forecast for different titles that Ubisoft was building. So I was in charge of.
Well, that didn't go well. I mean, didn't they say that, Assassin's Creed Shadows did so well, it was so good, and then it wasn't? And same with Star Wars Outlaws. Oh my god, this will make us so much money. That didn't go well.
Consumer insights within a strategic marketing department. So it really allowed me to get to grips with what people were buying, what people were excited by, what platforms were doing. Xbox wasn't a thing back then. It was about to launch. So lots and lots of really great data points. And obviously, at the heart of all of this, a real passion as a gamer. And I started playing games in 1981. Now, I can confidently say that's
1980. Well, to be fair, I was born in 82. Yeah. But I still played Pong. I started playing games at the age of, I think, 6. And with games, I mean video games. Still very early.
last century. It's, picture this. I had 1K of RAM. And the magicians that were making games on machines that had sometimes up to 16K. But one of my favorite games was called 3D Monster Maze. And check it out. There's videos of it on YouTube. It's a corridor. It's a first-person game. And you come across dinosaurs. When I was playing this in my bedroom in 1981, it felt like Jurassic Park. It sounds like a joke now, but that was so vivid to me. And I fell in love then. And then you realize that actually these are jobs and people can contribute to the industry and build projects together. So, you know, I've been.
If you build an entertainment product that people like, that they enjoy consuming it, yeah, of course you can make money with that. It's not even hard. You have to just find, you know, the thing that people want. And also, kids these days will not understand that. Just a progression of technology that Gen X and millennials grew up with, that was normal. Just every couple of years there was a new technology that was groundbreaking. I mean, I grew up with phones just being, you know, at home. Having a mobile phone, that was something you only see in movies. There was no such thing. I think I've never seen someone having a phone until the mid to late 90s. I mean, a mobile phone. And even then it was really, really rare. Really rare. I got my first one, I think, around the year 2000. So when I was almost 20. And I think I only got it because of a girlfriend. I don't even remember. It's so long ago.
Involved with a bunch of Tom Clancy games, Star Wars. It's been such a thrilling ride so far.
Well, I think there's no better person to ask then. What would you see as some of the core defining moments of the Division as a franchise over that period of time?
Good question.
It's funny because I'm going to give you an answer which is very much linked to the development process. So
Okay.
I think core moment for Division 1 is 2013, when the first playable was shown to the world. When the game was announced, there was that
The fake gameplay thing, where I pretended to, you know, oh yeah, this is communication in the game, and people were talking to each other, and you knew people don't talk like that to each other. I hate that shit, and everyone back in the day also pointed that out, and no one liked it. Now the gameplay, that's aside, the trailer was good. Showed off how the game would play quite well, or at least well enough.
moment where there was this hyper photorealistic cinematic vision of a pandemic-stricken New York that captured everybody's imagination. I was at E3 in LA when we still had a trade industry show in Los Angeles, and everybody on the show floor was talking about this game. And that was a key moment for the franchise. That was absolutely.
The game looked really great back then. I think it still looks good. I mean, I haven't played it in years, but I think it still looks good. I mean, there hasn't been a big generational leap since 13 years ago, 10 years ago. There hasn't been. So games from back then that look good still look good. Now, when it comes to, you know, modern games, a lot of times they look worse than games from 10 years ago. Yeah. The old, oh, we don't care about our product thing.
One of those lightning in a bottle moments where everybody's eyes are on that thing. I think the launch day of Division 1, when we were in, you know, it's called the War Room, but what it was a, you know, office space with 4 screens on the wall and like 20 developers in front of it. When we pressed that button to allow people into the game, and we started seeing like these points flash up all around the world, France, Sweden, Germany, the US, Mexico. And we started seeing player counts start to bump up. and it was the numbers couldn't keep up, and we were like, yes, and then we were like, oh my gosh, this means so much more work. And you know, just those moments of connection,
Ow.
of joy, not only with the dev team but with the community, incredibly important moments. So that's Division 1. Division 2 was very much the same thing. We went to E3 with a playable demo that we worked so hard on, and we showed it to everybody. You know, Kojima came around, all of these industry superstars came around, and we were able to show the work that we've done in a very short amount of time. That was phenomenal, and I think, you know.
But how did they react? That's an important question. How did they react? Because the Division 2 is basically just the Division 1 in a different location with some special abilities that are stronger, like really strong. And that's it. That's the only difference. It didn't need to be its own game. And I think neither does the third one. It's a game that that might exist, to be fair, might. That doesn't deserve to be its own game. I wholeheartedly believe that.
You know, very recently, we released a DLC on Division 2, 7 years after the launch.
7 years after launch, really? Was it here in 2025? Okay, yeah, it dipped to 14k, almost 15. Yeah, peaked, not dipped. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Battle for Brooklyn, day one of Battle for Brooklyn, this DLC, we had 500,000 DAU players jump back into the game. That is
Okay,
Crazy.
you know, and that brings us so much joy to see so much
but how fast did they leave? That's more important.
activity, and people have a lot of feedback, and you know, the community has a lot of feedback for us, and we need to listen to that. We need to take note, and that's the charm of a live game, is that there's always something that we can improve, revise, but we also have this absolute task to keep on surprising and delighting people. So if we can surprise with a DLC 7 years down the line, phenomenal. And that, you know, brings us even to Survivors, which is yet another surprise 8 years down the line of something brand new.
And you speak a lot about that community, and to have those kind of numbers has to
Yeah.
feel so rewarding, but it's also something you don't want to take for granted. How have you guys used that fan feedback to, has it changed the direction, or has it helped shape the vision at all of the division?
Absolutely. There's no doubt that there's constant dialogue with members of the community. We have a special
Really?
community group called the Elite Task Force. We have Discord with them. There's a lot of pre-release stuff shared with them. We're going to have a big session where we're going to bring these community members to Sweden, because we're based in the darkest area of the world in Sweden.
Okay.
It's great. I love it. It's been 12 years, so I really love it.
For the ones who don't know, Sweden, a very left-leaning country. That's why it's turning to shit. Well, it's already turned to shit, but it's getting worse.
We're going to bring them over here in February for, you know, some pretty
Exclusive
cool,
stuff.
pretty exclusive stuff. You know, it'll be, I don't know. Cool, pretty
I was muted the entire time. I was muted the entire time, and I was on such a good rant. Okay. We start this again. Do you see this shit? Do you see the AI? How cluttered this it feels cluttered to me. Arc Raiders has a way better UI, and Arc Raiders, you don't need all this information. If you can see what the enemy is, if you can see how damaged the enemy is, or that you deal damage to the enemy, which you don't in the Division. In Arc Raiders, yes, which is awesome. That's why we don't need health bars. That's why we don't need damage numbers in Arc Raiders. But you need them here because there's no feedback from the enemies. No matter how hurt they are, they all always look the same. And the game looks way worse than Arc Raiders. At least that's how I think. And now we are back at the spot where I unmuted.
Exclusive stuff. You know, it'll be, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I am, because I'm the executive producer, so I've only got myself to blame at the end of the day. But they'll be playable of things that we've announced, and maybe even things that we haven't announced. So we're really going to extract as much feedback as possible from these very precious members of the community.
And speaking of newest things, obviously part of the big reason why we're here talking, can you describe Survivors for even those who...
To be fair, this looked good. I always liked the how the Division 1 looked, always. And when I look at this, I think this is the Battle Royale DLC.
Maybe aren't involved with the Division franchise, what is Survivors to you?
So Division 1, we had 3 DLCs. We had one that was focused on replayable.
The Division 1 had only 3 DLCs? What the fuck is that?
Dungeons called Underground. We had one which was PvP focused called Last Stand. And we had the fan favorite, which was Survival. And Survival was, before it was even a word, it was an extraction shooter.
I was going to say, you guys really beat the wave here. We've seen.
Nice, okay, that sounds good. How ugly does this look? Oh my god, the UI. I mean, this is fine here, but...
See now.
I mean, if I hear one single person in the chat saying that Ubisoft only chases trends, I'm going to be disappointed, because this was before it was even a thing.
Yeah, but how many people played it? And it wasn't its own game, it was a DLC. For a game that at that point was almost dead. I mean... Do I have to show it again? Where was it? Was it here? 2019 was the last peak, and it peaked at 21,000. Free weekend. Free weekend. Free weekend. Free weekend. Okay. It... Oh my god, it basically only peaked at 3 weekends? Oh, that's really bad. Oh my god. I, by the way, didn't know what that FW is, free weekend. How about here? Okay, no free weekends for the majority of time here. That's good. But that a free weekend is below a peak? And it then just went down? Oh, that's bad. People really didn't like this one.
And it became such a strong fan favorite. And the concept behind it was New York City ravaged by a snowstorm. You're lost in the blizzard. You need to get to the heart of the map to be able to extract. And there's NPCs in the world, but also other players. And the other players,
That was the Battle Royale. Oh my god. They call it an extraction shooter because that's not a new hype thing. Not Battle Royales, which it was called back then. Back then they called that a Battle Royale with NPCs. Now it's an extraction shooter with NPCs. Oh, oh, Ubisoft, I got you here. I got you by your balls, and now I'm ripping them off. Fuck you. You changed the terminology. You just changed the terminology from Battle Royale to extraction shooter. Yeah. Not with Commander. Not with Commander.
they can be friends, but they can also be a real competition. So PvE, but with a PvP, a typical PvP. Very, very exciting. It's something that people still play today. Next week, this is December when we're talking, but next week in December, we're doing a survival fest where we're partnering with the community to just play Division 1 and to get some runs in, to get the excitement for survival.
How well did that go? Let me see. 1 month. We are January 10. December 1,000. Literally no change.
And of course, that leads us to survivors. So what are we doing? Like, we can't rest on our laurels, our 10-year-old laurels from survival. So we're reimagining it. We're bringing this snowstorm, this weather change to Washington, D.C. And that's something that you've never seen in Washington, D.C. We're going to transform the entire map.
So, what you're saying is, you copy what worked in the Division 1, bring it over to Division 2, and sell it to people again. Congratulations. A copy and paste. Ubisoft. You never disappoint in everyone else thinking that you're a disappointment.
Thinking about it in a very different way with innovations that haven't been seen yet. I can't talk about them today because
they always say shit like that. Oh, you have never seen something like that before, and then it's the most bland shit ever that we have seen 1,000 times already.
We have a long communication thing, but there's a focus on this to make it such a different feeling experience from the core Division.
Look at all the numbers,
and
look at all the numbers. Do we need all the numbers? Do we need the, I don't know what that score? Oh right, yeah, that's the item score. Do we need that? Do we need all these numbers, all these stats? I think our creators does it way better. This looks cluttered. Now even back in the day, I was kind of overwhelmed by all the information.
Feeling experience from the core Division 2 experience.
Look who developed the game. Are you scared yet? Are you scared? I am.
And I played it this week. We had our third playable build. It's really shaping up. So it'll take the time that it takes, but
Okay, back in the shooting the gas bottles on the back and they start burning, that was always good. It's still good. That's the only, I think the only time in the game where you can actually see when you hit an enemy and it has an actual effect on the enemy or to their behavior and stuff like that. But still, Arc Raiders is still way better than that.
think we've got something super, super promising here.
And are there? I know you said you got to keep it limited, but are there any details people can know? How Survivors keeps the core to Division 2, but also still expands upon the original version. Can you give me anything there?
I think there are a couple of things here that I'm really happy about. Survivors is developed with Magnus Jensen, who is the original Division 1 creative director. So this is a guy who lives and breathes the Division. He's so excited about jumping into this type of game mode again. And
Sure.
he knows the community, he knows the audience, he knows the gameplay. And there is a hint in the title of something that we're going to be doing really differently from everybody else.
Well,
Okay. That's such PR speech. I really don't like that. Oh, we gotta do something completely different to anyone else. Is that a good thing? That's not always a good thing.
what do you think this might offer veteran players, or do you think this might catch the eye because of the genre? Extraction shooter. Do you think this might catch the eye of some newcomers that stumble across it? What do you think it offers players like that?
My question would be, why would anyone play that instead of Arc Raiders? Arc Raiders being the most casual and actual entertaining extraction shooter, survival shooter. It does basic. Oh, by the way, not have any survival stuff in it. No drinking, no eating, just healing.
It's a really good question because we always develop with a player in mind, with player types in mind.
Do you? Do you? Star Wars Outlaws. That wasn't made for the players. We know because it didn't sell well.
And I think here we have to acknowledge that the Division 2 has a large player base of passionate gamers. And one of the things that we want.
Did you recognize it? The Division 2 has a large player base of passionate players. The Division 2 does not have a large player base. It has a large player base of passionate players. Two different things. Two different things. Now, I believe them the second one. The first one is not true. The Division 2's never reached the same heights than the Division 1.
To do is really lean into the sort of comfort game of the Division 2. People are happy to jump in, know their way around the controller, know their way around the map. They know how to play this game. So we're going to take that and subvert it a little bit and
Sure.
change the map and make sure that the weather has an impact on you, which it doesn't have in Division 2. So there are lots of little things that we're doing.
Well, the Division 2 basically plays on spring or summer. So it's basically just warm and nice. Maybe you have rain. That's it. Did the game have rain? I don't remember if the game had rain. Might not. I think it didn't. Oh my god, it didn't have weather. Okay, yeah. So basically, they are doing the cold snap from Arc Raiders, but on the Division 2. By the way, cold snap event, awesome. Even if you would let out the thing with the where you have to put items into the thingy to unlock things, stages, and get rewards. If you would take that out, just a cold snap condition on the maps is awesome. So fun. I love it.
To surprise our core audience. Veteran players, they're going to be surprised. All of these locations that they know by heart, they're going to be transformed. New players, there'll never be a better time to jump into the
No one will start playing the Division 2 for that. I can't see that at all. Because the game is basically dead. And there are better games out there. Like in my mind, Arc Raiders. That's why I rather play Arc Raiders. I mean, why would I play the Division 2? I stopped that years ago. Because it's not fun.
Division 2.
You know, we've seen the rise of recent extraction shooters. I think Arc Raiders goes, without needing mention. And we've already mentioned you guys are expanding upon an original version of this. But when we take a look at these more modern versions that have really taken off, are you guys at all taking inspiration from current existing games of that genre? Or are you simply trying to expand upon your original version with your own ideas?
They didn't have an original version. That wasn't... I told you earlier, back in the day, they called it a Battle Royale mode. Only lately they call it extraction shooter. I mean, and by them I mean Ubisoft. The DLC for the Division 1. I will not fall for their lies.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think we're always focused on how do we build on what we have and surprise ourselves.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Ubisoft copy and paste their UI from old games all the time. They basically older games are just copy and paste from older games. They put a new skin on it and that's it. That's literally what they made with the Division 2. It's just the Division 1 in a different setting and give some special abilities. Yeah, that's literally it. That's all.
The industry moves so fast that if we take inspiration from this game or that game, that's really chasing trends. So we're really focused on how do we...
Did you guys remember the time when Ubisoft wanted to make an NFT game and integrate blockchain into their games? So much to, we don't chase trends. Yes you do. Yes you do, all the time. And it's retarded. Which isn't surprising, it's Ubisoft. A gaming company that once was worth billions and now is worth nothing. Fuck Ubisoft.
Take what we did 10 years ago in survival, adapt that to the Division 2, adapt that to Washington, D.C., adapt it to a new audience, but also bring some brand new things that have really never been seen before.
Last question around Survivor.
I don't believe that for a second, that they will put something out that, no one has seen that before, ever. I don't believe that for a second.
What's your big pitch for anyone? I mean, I'm sure people are going to play regardless, but what's your big pitch on what makes this so unique and so fun?
I think if you imagine a real world location, the most important city in the United States, Washington, D.C., completely ravaged by a pandemic and struck by the strongest, worst blizzard of all time. And you are going to have to survive and extract the most valuable resources.
Sure. So basically a mix between the cold snap that happened 2 years ago, the Black Lives Dead plus the Black Lives Matter riots and 20, I don't know, when did the Floyd guy died on an overdose? And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. Okay, yeah, easy.
I knew going into this before we talked. I knew you were a really good storyteller. I had a feeling that every time you talk, I can picture it. I think that was great, man. You know, some people you talk to, some people a bit more, you know, reserved, and you said you were, but I'm not buying it. I knew I was going to get a good description.
That's very kind. Do you play The Division?
I'm all the way back to the original. Have not played the in between, and I'm a big like college buddy watcher of a lot of these Prime games. So definitely will be hopping back in around this time.
Listen, I can
He's lying. He will not play it.
comfortably guarantee that if you jump in The Division 2 today, you're going to have a blast. The core loop, the core combat is so satisfying that
it was fine. It was fine. It's literally the same as the Division 1. It's fine, yeah. Arc Raiders is better. Actually, way better.
it's, if you don't like it, I'll refund it.
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that right there. Anyway, though, closing questions, more so tailored to the franchise and what we've heard about as well before. You know, the Division 3 is obviously going to be widely talked about, being confirmed. Can you give us any insights there, or can you even speak to what it takes to make a decision of like, okay, we are ready for a sequel, or we're at least ready to talk about said sequel? When it's such a big franchise, when do those points come to be?
So The Division 3 is in production, right? This is not a secret. It's been announced. It's shaping up to be a monster. I can't really say anything more than that, but
it's PR talk. Again, PR talk. He's just hyping it up. I believe it when I see it.
this is within these walls in Massive. We are working extremely hard on something that I think will be as big an impact as Division 1 was.
I knew you were going to give me a line. The Division 3 is shaping up to be a monster. That's all.
Yeah, but people played the Division 1 and it's dead now. So, why would anyone care? Good question, actually. Chat, tell me, do you... Chat and people that watch the video, do you even care about the Division 3? Because I know I don't. Why would I? I didn't even care about the Division 1 until I played it. And it was fun. I played through the leveling, I think 3 or 4 times with different characters. So that was fun. The end game was okay. And the Division 2, I played 2 characters through the story, I think. And that's it. I literally didn't really care about the Division 2. I played I think I played less than 50 hours in Division 2. I think it takes you about 8 to get through the story to max level. Maybe. I don't remember. Too long ago. But it was very, very fast. And yeah, it's whatever. So I totally don't look forward to the Division 3 because meh. Why would I? Meh. Who cares? Another Ubisoft game. That's fundamentally it. It's just another Ubisoft game. And when was the last time they published an actually good game that they made? Oh, I was thinking about Bethesda. Bethesda hasn't made a good game themselves in almost 2 decades, so they've published but not made. And same with them. Ubisoft making good games. When was the last time? Over 10 years ago? 15? I don't know.
I needed.
Yeah, perfect.
But you guys are also branched out into mobile though, with things like Resurgence. So what has that been, and what does that also offer you guys? You know, it's got to be, you know, I wouldn't say spreading yourself thin, but to diversify today's market, what's it like to then go into mobile?
You have to
Of course, there's also a mobile game. Of course.
keep in mind that these are separate teams, right?
Yeah,
So the Survivors
I really hope so.
team, the Division 3 team, the Division 2 team, they're all separate teams. In Resurgence, there's a team in Paris working on this, and they're putting the final touches on a mobile execution of the promise of Division 1. So Division 1, New York, pandemic strikes, take back New York.
The thing is, if that game is not free to play, no one will play it. Or almost no one. And then how do they make money? Oh, it's gonna be pay to win. There.
This is a brand new story with mechanics that are really fine-tuned to a mobile phone. Graphically, this looks like a PS5. You may have seen the
Sure.
adverts for it. It looks phenomenal. Really,
Sure.
really good. It plays really good. And it has a
This is all PR speak to sell the product and nothing else.
few innovations, one of which I hope they've already announced. If they haven't, I'll apologize.
Chris will catch it.
Yeah, but they have this innovation that we've never done. You know, the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone
Yeah.
in Division 1
Yeah,
was,
okay.
and Division 2 was this area of atypical PvP. It was an area where, much like other games today, popular games today, you could walk around, you could hear gunshots, go over there, there'd be another agent. You'd approach cautiously, feel each other out.
It was their PvEVP mode. Basically Arc Raiders, but in the Division. No arcs, but NPCs. It was, yeah, it was fine. I mean, yeah, it's nothing special.
And decide whether to partner or to actually engage in PvP. Now, the whole of the Resurgence map is friendly to other agents. So you'll hear gunshots on a corner. You won't need to be in the Dark Zone. It could be anywhere, and you can group with those people. So PvP is off by default, but being able to group up and to see other agents in the streets, that's never been done in a Division game before, let alone a mobile game.
Funny how he said never has been done before in a Division game. So it has been done before.
So these guys are wizards. I don't know how they did it, but real wizards.
And speaking of the title, whether
Sure.
or no matter the platform, no matter the sequel, prequel, whatever it is, what do you think needs to remain unchanged for that core of the Division to remain as is?
That's pretty much my job at the moment, is to define those things. So I love this question because it's my comfort zone. I think when you close your eyes, you need to think of a brand, any brand that you love, and be able to define it with a few certain pillars that are exclusive to this brand. And for the Division, it's really 3 concepts that flashed up on that first gameplay trailer in 2013. Open world, online, RPG. When you think of those 3 things,
Open world online RPG. Did they just reinvent the MMO RPG? Because what he's telling us here, that's just an MMO RPG. That's nothing new. They are around since the 90s. What the fuck? Ubisoft? Oh, this is this great invention that we do with our game. It never has been done before. 30 years old concept. Literally hundreds of games before. Yeah. The PR speak is strong with Ubisoft.
And you add little definitions to it. Open world, these are real world locations. We're not going to made up fancy locations. This is Washington, D.C. recreated one-to-one.
No one actually cares. No one actually cares. If it would be any other city that actually exists, or if it would be a fantasy city, no one really cares. Is it fun to play in it? That's important thing. Does it look nice? That's important thing. No one really cares if a thing actually exists in the real world. No one really cares, unless you may live there, and then it's quite exciting, right? Or it's really interesting, in a really interesting place like New York was. I mean, New York isn't that awesome anymore because of the people that live there, but back in the day it was just like Rome was in ancient times.
You get to know Washington, D.C. in Division 2, you know Washington, D.C. in the real world. So real world, open world locations. Online, this is fundamentally a co-op focused game. Every single mission, every single challenge you can do as a co-op experience. Multiplayer in the Dark Zone.
So, just like an MMORPG. I mean, that's basically every multiplayer game ever. Where you just, with the exception, of course, with the games that are only PvP, there's no, AI enemies or anything like that. But yeah, this is just, they are basically saying they invented co-op play. No, you didn't.
PvP in the Dark Zone, but everything else is very much focused with co-op in mind. We're not making our lives easier with these pillars, by the way. So open world, online, and it's an RPG. There's a depth here. There's a live connectivity.
Open world online RPG. It's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Yeah. Well, the massive is just for the because of the amount of players. Yeah. They might lack there.
To it that means that people can play for 40 hours, they can play for 2,000 hours. There's a lot of depth that you can really explore by yourself or with your friends. And that's those three pillars put together. I can't think of any other game that does it. That's what makes us really stand out.
Last one for you as well. I don't get the chance to talk to 30-year vets dang near as much. What have you seen change in this space that you are most excited for?
What have I seen? This is going to be a controversial answer, but when I see games like Genshin Impact that break down walls for people to jump in and play with their friends, that really excites me. It's just in terms of experience, being able to see, a group of my daughter's friends sit down on a couch. One is playing on PS5, one is playing on their phone, another is on an iPad, and being able to play together with no barriers of monetization or.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that is a good thing. Yeah, sure. I think we all can agree with that.
Or, a $50, $60, $70 price tag. That really, as an innovation, I think that's fantastic. that really gets people on the couch again, talking again, playing again.
That is not the you're right. That's not the answer I expected from you. I know I kind of wild card there, but I'm sure you can give plenty of answers.
I can think of like
You could probably think of
other
20.
answers, but this one is the one where recently I've been really impressed by that work. I think it's a remarkable achievement.
So what you're telling me is we should expect The Division 3 to be an Ubisoft game. No one cares about this. No one cares. Literally no one. I don't think for a second that anyone actually cares about this. If you excuse me, ow. Oh. Got stuck to my head again. I take a piss and then, ow, we watch some of the videos.